Good morning, I am Michael Pullen, the author of the book The Omnivore's Dilemma, A Natural History of Four Meals, which explores the food industry and how the decisions of what to eat is ruining our idea of food. In the book, I detail how 3 different meals are made from start to finish: a fast food meal in the car, an all-organic home-cooked dinner, and a dinner party feast that was completely hunted and foraged for by yours truly. I discuss how the choices we make every day on what to eat affect not only our health, but the environment and the economy as well. I've written many other books on how our physiological state is heavily affected by what we consume. For example, The Bounty of Desire and In Defense of Food. But this book focuses more on the business side of agriculture and understanding where your food actually comes from. I actually went to the extent of buying and selling a cow and slaughtering chickens to fully understand the American food chain. The book came out in 2006, before the 2008 recession and the economic problems of the 2020 pandemic. So much of its content inevitably excludes people who cannot afford to be conscious eaters. Over this time period, there was also a shift in many parts of the country, especially the West Coast, where I live, that has placed a lot of value in buying organic. In California especially, it is extremely popular to eat an organic and sustainable diet. However, the arguments and themes still apply to today's society. So I'd like to open the floor to questions.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
As a professional trainer and Olympic weightlifter, I am very concerned with my health and diet. After reading your book, I'm looking into being more eco-conscious with my choices. However, to achieve my athletic goals, I need a lot of protein to fuel my training. And I know that it's hard to ask my clients to be as eco-safe as I wish to be, when they might not care as much as I do. How would you suggest I go about accommodating your ideas on eating into my protein-heavy lifestyle and the lives of my clients? Well, for one thing, I deeply believe in letting people make their own decisions. So for your clients, I would suggest that you inform them of the benefits of conscious eating, maybe suggest them some texts for research, and then let them decide how they want to incorporate the information into their lives. If they do decide that they want to make the change in their life, help them to find the right markets and businesses near them. For you, someone who is quite successful and could possibly afford organic meats, try to avoid the supermarket for your lean proteins. The livestock industry is one of the cruelest and most wasteful industries in our current economy. In California, one of the biggest consumers of water is alfalfa grass, which is used to feed cattle and eats up an estimated 1,875 gallons of water per pound of cow feed. And the cruelty of the industry is off-putting as well. Mad cow disease happened because farmers were and still are feeding cow parts to other cows. Chickens too. Chicken feed is a mixture of corn, steroids, and unwanted chicken parts. Farmers did this so that these herbivores would eat more protein and grow bigger so that they could be sold for more money. So any way that you could avoid these big corporations would drastically improve the ethical effect of your meals. Eating more plant-based protein is another great way to eat less meat. And this applies to everyone, not just dietitians. Okay, let's have another question. How about you in the pink?
Good morning, I'm Ruth.
I work a low-paying desk job to support my family and don't have a lot of money when it comes to affording groceries. My family and I are motivated to start eating consciously to improve our health and carbon footprint. However, buying organic requires a lot of time and money, which are 2 things I don't have. What advice do you have for someone in my situation? And do you think that this form of consumerism is an element of class in America? Thank you for the question, Ruth. And I understand where you are coming from. Eating healthy and sustainably is expensive. However, while eating healthy is harder when you don't have as much time or money, it is nowhere near impossible. It does take a lot of effort, but meal prepping can help to save time in your work week and help save money on food that you might have gone to waste. To do this, sit down, usually on a weekend, and plan out everything you'll make over the week. Then go grocery shopping just for what you need and cook all the food for the week. Condensing the time of cooking 21 meals into a single day can help to prioritize your time and make healthier eating easier. And to go to the second part of your question, the way we eat is extremely emblematic of our social class. Having the option to get an organically raised chicken for $6 a pound isn't available for everyone. Buying organic is expensive because transporting fresh products is costly for businesses when they are not jam-packed with preservatives. When food gets cheaper, the quality and nutrient value drastically decreases. Time is also an important factor. Some people don't have the time to cook a meal every day, let alone 3. While things like meal prepping can help, it can also be a whole day lost to simply cooking your food for the week. People who work 2 or 3 jobs find themselves going for fast food because it's fast and cheap. They don't really have many other options. But frankly, yes, class and diet often go hand in hand. Let's hear from you with the blue tie.
Hello, I'm Jeff Gormier.
I'm a reporter looking to write an article on conscious eating. I wrote Mindful Eating as Food for Thought, which explores the benefits of being mindful when in the eating phase of consumption. But I'm looking to take this idea a step further with your idea of conscious eating, which explores mindfulness in the purchasing and decision-making phase of consumption. For my readers and the general public, where would you recommend someone start on the journey to conscious eating?
This is a great question. I would say research. When starting anything, it does require a bit of looking into. But when it comes to your food, you want to be certain of where it's coming from. The first step is researching how conscious of an eater you want to be. Could it mean buying organic, buying locally, or simply just trying to cook your own meals? There are so many degrees of conscious eating, and finding what is comfortable and affordable is the necessary first step to making change. The next step is to research where you will get your foods. This could be local farms, Whole Foods, or even your backyard. Then, once you've established where you will source your products, you need to prepare to change your mindset. The next step almost turns your personal kitchen into a restaurant. You need to think and plan out meals you will eat so that you can buy exactly what you need and create no waste. Making food a conscious decision also means making it an active thought process instead of a subconscious choice to whatever is easiest. The next step is to plan time in your day to cook and enjoy a meal and think about what you are eating. Engaging in mindful eating and conscious eating go hand in hand, as they both place importance on being in the present when it comes to food. So for a shorter answer, first research conscious eating and the extent you want to take it, then look into where you source your food, then change your mindset by meal planning. And finally, take time in your day to make eating important. How about you next in the hat?
Good morning. I'm Chris Kaminsky, the new CEO of McDonald's Incorporated. In your book, you advocate against the fast food industry and the methods that it uses to acquire its ingredients. However, these methods allow for cheap, high-calorie meals that can be eaten quickly, which is important when it comes to feeding people in deep poverty. Also, more than a third of America consumes fast food in a given day. That's 83 million people who benefit from fast food. If you could go back and prevent the growth of the fast food industry, would you do it, knowing that much of America could potentially starve?
That's a tough one. I struggle with this because the fast food industry is, as you said, very important when it comes to our current society and health demographics. Fast food is what brought the agricultural industry out of the local markets and allowed for food to be transported across the country or even seas at a low cost, mainly in products like meat and dairy. However, while it did great things for the industry, as it becomes more profitable, food becomes more of a product that is being sold rather than a necessity for life. For example, if you were a local farmer, your thoughts would be focused on the quality of your produce, but a major corporation like McDonald's, the focus goes to profit and efficiency. This means finding cheap ways to get ingredients that stay fresh longer and can be mass-produced. This leads to dangerous pesticides and grotesque treatment of livestock, which makes the food significantly less healthy. A corporate business also focuses on making a desirable product, which means packing the food with sugars and sodium that leaves a consumer wanting more. In fact, on average, fast food desserts have increased an extra 62 calories each decade, while the sodium in entrees has increased by 4.6% of the daily recommended value each decade. This increase of unhealthy and physically addicted substances is drastically putting the American people at risk. For example, from 2000 to 2018, the prevalence of obesity increased by 11.9% among adults. So to answer your question, Yes, I would prevent it because the current state of fast food is doing more harm to the average American than good. Thank you everyone for the questions. Be sure to look out for my next book, This Is Your Mind on Plants, coming out July 6, 2021.